But now we go forward as one movement, and really we have a very special group of people, like the people here. You people built this country. It's one movement, and we're more united, determined than ever before. We've never been so determined.
There.
Bad things happened last time. We're not going to let them happen this time. Bad things happened. We will never stop working to deliver a magnificent future for our people, and together we will fight, 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 right? And we will win, win, win. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I like this place. You ever walk in to a place and you say, I sort of like this place? Less than 4 months from now, we are going to win Michigan. We are going to take back the White House in a monumental landslide. And with your help, we are going to make America great again. Right? Right?
Stop. Sorry.
At our convention on just a little while ago in Milwaukee on Thursday, it was my tremendous honor to officially accept the Republican nomination for President of the United States. And I used to say it in 2016, and I meant it 100%, but I mean it even more now because this country has gone wrong. We're a failing nation. We're really a left-at failing nation right now. This will be the most important election in the history of our country. This is going to be the most important election. We cannot let it slip by. We cannot let people cheat. We cannot let this slip by, or we're not going to have a country. Because I do have other things I could be doing. It would be a lot easier.
Crunchy.
Although I'd rather be with you than sitting
Very
in some
crunchy.
gorgeous beach watching boring waves coming in. No, I would rather be. Actually, I would. You know that. I think that's one of the reasons we've been so successful together. You know I mean that, too. But we're going to make our country more successful than ever before. Yet even as we gather this evening, we will, and take a look, still, the Democratic nominee, we're going to find out shortly, maybe, I don't know. Let's do this. Let's do a poll. You know, I love doing polls, right? Like I do a poll. I do lots of polls. Like, do you like Make America Great Again, or do you like America First, or do you like them both? I like them both, right? But let's do a poll on candidates. Ready? So I'll go. We're going to do a poll on a few candidates. The press will like this because they won't have to pay for the poll. You know, you do these crazy polls and they charge you $250. Look, there's Mr. Wall. This guy is the greatest guy. This guy. He must have a lot of money because he's at so many different rallies. And he was at the one that was a tough one, wasn't he? That was something. You were right up in the front there. You saw that. That was something. We're going to do a poll, and it's going to be a very nice poll. And right? Who's your favorite candidate? Who would you like? Let's do it. Who would you most like to run against? Because, you know, you could say, who's the best candidate? We're saying, who would you like to? We'll start with Kamala Harris, and then we'll go to crooked Joe Biden, and then we could possibly discuss a few others. So who would you like to most run against if you're us, if we want to win? Ready? Kamala Harris, crooked Joe Biden. All right. I don't think we have to go too much further. Well, you have a terrible governor here who did a terrible job. Whitman. I'd like to run against her, actually. I'd like to run against her. So she's one of the 20 that I mentioned. She's the one that gave her husband full right, title, and interest to everything, but nobody else could do anything but her husband. Her husband was sailing in the middle of your lake, your beautiful lake. He's out there sailing, and everybody else had to be locked up, right? Her husband. No, but things like that are mentioned during a campaign, little things like that. No, she's done a terrible job, but I'd be very happy with her. At this very moment, Democrat Party bosses are frantically trying to overthrow the results of their own party's primaries to dump crooked Joe Biden from the ballot. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Hey, boys and girls.
And as you're seeing, the Democrat Party is not the party of democracy.
Join us
They're really
tonight.
the enemies of democracy, the parties of
Drinking
corrupt
liberal
insiders
tears.
like Whitmer, special interests, and the failed political class. That's what they are. Under our leadership, the Republican Party is now the party of the people. We're the party of hardworking Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. We've become a very big party. We've become, right, fellas?
Uh-oh.
We're the party of hardworking Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. We've become a very big party. We've become, right, fellas?
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about. I love you guys.
What?
We love you guys.
Not mainstream.
No,
media,
we become a very big party. We have increased in size. Nobody's ever, honestly, in history, there's never been anything like this movement. And that may be in the history of the world, but let's keep it down to the country for right now, because that's the thing. But there's never been anything like MAGA. When Biden says, we have to stop MAGA, we will stop MAGA. I said, he doesn't know what MAGA stands for. It stands for Make America Great Again. How can you be against that?
We have some breaking news. That's right. Uh-oh. How do I get back?
I'm not. I'm a person with great common sense. I'm not an extremist.
We have some news. Okay.
Like some
Yeah. Apparently.
I don't even know.
Still learning my
Some of them, I know who
soundboard.
they are, but they're
Hillary
very,
Clinton
very
might be stepping in place of
like
Joe
you have.
Biden, guys.
They're sort of the opposite
Wow.
of the radical left, okay? You have the radical left and you have the radical right.
That blows.
And they come up with this, I don't know what the hell it is. It's Project
Would be fun,
25.
though, wouldn't it? What the
He's
hell, a
involved in
rematch.
Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. But what they do is misinformation and disinformation, and they keep saying, he's a threat to democracy. I'm saying, what the hell did I do for democracy? Last week, I took a bullet for democracy. What did I do against democracy? Crazy.
Yeah, are we having fun yet?
Hello, Chris. Here's our great campaign man. Chris, are you having a good time? Look at him. He's back there, cool as a cucumber. You know, so far, they're giving us great credit for the best run campaign they've seen in years. Isn't that nice? Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Chris. Look how cool he is. Just sits there. Thanks, Eddie. Try doing it with another candidate sometime. That gets tough, right? Anyway, thank you very much. Great job, Chris, Susie, the whole group. We have a great group of people. They love this country. They want to save the country. That's what we're doing. With your vote in this election, the Trump-Vance administration, by the way, I made the right pick. He's so great. They were all good. They were all good, but he's really stepped up. But the Trump-Vance administration will begin rapidly reversing every single Biden-Harris disaster,
On the table.
starting on day one. And when you vote for Biden, you're probably voting indirectly for Harris anyway, whether you like it or not. It's common sense, it's all common sense, right? We will end the inflation nightmare that you would have never had. We had no inflation. See, there's another thing. Biden always goes around, I inherited 9% inflation. And even the radical left reporters up there, look at all of them. Whoa, they have a lot. They have a lot of them. They have a lot of them. Look at those cameras. But they'll start turning off as soon as I start mentioning certain things. I'll say, the red light just went off. No, but actually, the radical left reporters, of which there are quite a few, I can't believe it. I don't know why they'd have them. But the radical left reporters say the guy's right. You know, wasn't it until 2 years in that we became destroyed with inflation? Inflation is a country buster. It's a class buster. It busts everything, low income, middle income especially, and they get they're busted. The country gets busted. Look at Germany from centuries ago. Look at every country that's had inflation. And we had, I believe, the greatest inflation in the history of our country. They don't even report it properly because they leave the worst numbers out. They don't talk about interest rates that went to 10, 11, 12%, and you can't get the money. So what does that mean, 12%, if you can't get the money? It means it's higher from 2%. We will seal the border, and we will stop this terrible invasion that's destroying our country. We will crush migrant crime. We're going to crush migrant crime. Oh, we have a new form of crime now. It's called migrant crime. The only good thing about these migrants coming in is they make our gang members and criminals look like the nicest people you've ever met. These people are much tougher. They come from all over the world, not just from South America. We're going to return law and order to our streets and restore patriotism to our schools. We gave you already the largest tax cut in the history of our country, larger than the Reagan cuts, but now we will give you an additional tax cut, a number of tax cuts that will make it. We took in more money after the tax cuts than we did prior. We took in billions and billions of dollars more after the tax cuts than we did. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. Everyone knows that. We're going to slash regulations. That's what created all of those jobs and gave them bounce-back jobs. You know, they're called bounce-back jobs. After COVID, they bounce back. Everybody knows that. When you have something like COVID, which rarely happens, but when you have something like that, they're called bounce-back jobs. And we're going to bring down energy prices very rapidly. It was energy that caused the problem and their stupidity. And we're going to bring it down very quickly. Your energy bills will be cut in half, at least cut in half. Some sections, like in New England, I'll be able to cut their energy by 60, 70%. It's absolutely crazy what has happened with energy. We buy the oil from Venezuela. They used to be our enemy. I don't know. We buy from Venezuela. It's not really oil, it's tar. And you know, there's only one refinery in the world that can do it. It's very heavy, horrible stuff. It's garbage. It's tar. You lift it. I said, that's not oil. We want light, sweet, crude. We have the best oil. We have the best everything. We go to Venezuela. You know where they refine it? In Houston, Texas. It's the only plant in the world that can refine that stuff. So we go to Venezuela. We pay them a fortune. We take that dictatorship. We make the dictatorship wealthy. These people don't know what the hell they're doing. They're incompetent. They're grossly incompetent. The biggest threat is because we have incompetent. That's the threat to democracy. It's a threat to our country. We have incompetent people leading our country, grossly incompetent people. America's enemies will fear us. The United States will again command the respect that it deserves. Viktor Orban, the very powerful leader of Hungary, said, when asked what happened with the world that's falling to pieces, there are wars all over, he said, bring back Trump, it'll all end. It all ended. We had no problem in the world. And something beautiful is going to happen because we will bring back the American dream, and it'll be bigger, better, and bolder than ever before. Right? And most importantly, for the people of this great state, you know, years ago, they gave me in Michigan the Man of the Year. That was long before I was a politician. I was a business guy. I did well. I liked the state, but I don't know. I heard Man of the Year, Michigan.
No, I can't.
I said, that's cool. That's good. I'm going to make that trip. I didn't know why they were giving it to me. Nothing, but they were giving it to me for, I guess, the fact that I employed a lot of people. I did real well. This is probably 14 years ago. And I came in and I said, why do you allow foreign countries like Mexico? You know, we think of them as friendly, but they haven't been too friendly lately. How about where they asked Biden to meet, just to meet? They want $2 billion to meet. They wouldn't ask that. See, they wouldn't even ask me that because I'd say, I will put 100% tariffs on everything you send into a country if you even think about asking. They want $2 billion to meet. In other words, we won't meet with you unless you pay us $2 billion. And this is every single year. They want $2 billion. No, it works the opposite of that, the exact opposite. But you know, when you see the things that are happening to our country, and all you have to do is know how to speak.
Whoops.
When I watched
Sorry,
the way
guys.
our border was handled, we had the best border, the safest border, the border
my
that
goodness.
saved my life. You know, I was pointing to an immigration border
I got to be
sign
careful.
when I made this turn, and that thing went that way instead of that way. So I owe immigration my life. It's true. It's true. Now, think about it. I'm talking thousands and thousands, much more than even this. I mean, we're restricted because you're in this giant arena. That's the one thing about outdoor that's good. You can have unlimited. Thousands and thousands as far as the eye can see. Nobody's over here or over here because there's nobody there. It starts like this, as far as the eye can see. And I said, look at the great results that we had on immigration. Just look at them. If I didn't say that, and it's because we had like a crane holding this massive sign, I call it the $1 million sign, they're expensive. But that sign was very good. I think I'm going to sleep with it tonight. I'm going to sleep with it tonight. I said, what was that? What was that? Whew. Then I looked, I said, that's not good.
That's not good.
That's not good.
That's not good.
So it was immigration, if you think about it, right? Immigration, I would have never been looking to the right, and I had to be. It was the only place that would have saved us. They do these reports in the New York Times and all over the place where they had, you know, the shape, you know, if he turns this way, this way, this way. If every shot was no good for me except for the one direct, and came whizzing by. And I hope we have to never go through that again, everybody, because it's so horrible, horrible. But most importantly, for the people of your state, this great state, I will rescue the U.S. auto industry from obliteration. They're going to obliterate your auto industry. And anybody that votes for the head of the United Auto Workers, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's approved all electric cars. And you know, Elon, I love Elon Musk. Do we love him? I love him. And I'm constantly talking about electric cars, but I don't mean I'm totally for them, but whatever the market says, and if it's 10% of the market, 12%, 7%, 20%, whatever it is, it's okay. But you can't have 100% electric cars. And you know, so Elon endorsed me recently, the other day.
You can't have 100% electric cars.
He's great.
Here in Maine, it's like really, really
Elon
cold.
Musk. He's a brilliant guy. Every time I call
Electric
him, he's
snowplow.
talking about, I got
What a
a
joke.
new idea for a rocket. You have to hear this. No, it's true. You know, the first time I ever saw this, I'm watching television like 3 years ago, and I see a rocket engine, motor engine, come down landing, straight up in, no wings, no nothing, and it's landing. And I thought I was seeing things. What is that? And it's landing on a barge in the middle of the ocean. And then another one comes down, and another one. I guess 4 of them came down, 3 or 4, and they land upright. I said, what the hell was that? I've never seen that before. Now, if that were government, you wouldn't see that for another 50 to 100 years. But it was Elon. Now, think of that. And I called him, and I've always had a good relationship with him, but I called him, and I said, what was that? He said, well, we saved the engines. We saved the engines because it's very expensive to build. So, I mean, it didn't take me long to figure that if you save them, that's good, but who the hell thought you could do that? No wings, no nothing, just like these big, long, massive tubes, and they're landing gently right on the dot. I said, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And you say, how long would it take government to come up with that one? I don't think they ever heard of it. Perhaps they still haven't heard of it. But, you know, he's a very advanced person, and he's doing other things that are great, and so are others. We have to make life good for our smart people, you know? We have some smart people. We have to make life good for our smart people. And as smart as you get. But Elon endorsed me the other day, and I didn't even know this, he didn't even tell me about it, but he gives me $45 million a month. A month. Not 45 million. Gives me 45 million a month. And I talked to him just a little while ago to say I was coming here, how you doing? And he didn't even mention it. He didn't mention. I mean, other guys, they give you $2 and you got to take them to lunch. You got to wine them, dine them. No, he's a great guy, he really is. But, you know, he's never mentioned to me, why are you hitting the electric cars? Because he understands I'm not hitting it. I think it's incredible. I've had them, I've driven them, they're incredible. But they're not for everybody. Some people have to drive long distances. And they tend to be more expensive. And, you know, they'll probably be made in China because China has all of that material. Oh, there's the guy that I stood up here. Is you the same guy, the same muscles? Look at that guy. Are you the same guy? Yes? No kidding. It's pretty good memory, right? Unlike somebody else that I happen to be running against. You wouldn't. Come on up here. Get up here. I got to get this guy. This guy was central casting. Look at him. Look. Oh, I think you were standing on a box. That was the only thing. I said, you got to come on up here. Don't hurt yourself. Can you get him up? I like this guy. He's a serious union guy, a United Auto Workers. You look at him get over there. It's okay. He does not carry guns. He's not, come on up here. Look at him. Look at his shape he's in.
Hey, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see this guy. I told you we're going to get 85 million of us out there to vote.
Yeah, baby.
So let's
Here we
go
are.
from this rally.
Welcome. If you're not commenting, drop a comment. Say hi. Let us know you're here. My name is TruthSlinger. I'm Tim. We are watching Donald Trump live delivering his first
Look at
rally
the arms on him.
after his
I
assassination
may
attempt.
have height, but his arms are definitely more powerful, huh?
Funzy.
Look at that guy. No, last time I was here, I saw him, and he was so great, and he was agreeing with us on auto. We want to bring car manufacturing back, and what the deal with this thing with the all-electric cars by
The more we get the chat
6
going,
years
the
from
more
now?
I
It's
want to hang
ridiculous.
around.
You know,
You
in
know what I'm
the
saying?
Midwest, they open up chargers.
Otherwise, I just
They opened up 8 chargers. You read about this.
go away.
$9 billion
Party.
they spent for 8 chargers. That's like a gas pump. I guess it would be like the equivalent of a gas pump for electric, right? They spent $9 billion on 8 chargers. This is 8 little chargers. $9 billion. How do you do that? It would cost at that rate $5 trillion to create enough charges so it could run. It doesn't work. And it doesn't work the trucks either. I was with Swift, big Swift company. How many trucks you own? 29,000, sir. 29,000? That's a lot of trucks. One of the biggest, I guess like the biggest. I think he's the biggest, right? And he said, they want to destroy our business. They want us to go all electric. I said, so what's wrong with electric? I said, if you take a big, beautiful, like Peterbilt or one of the great manufacturers, how many times would you have to stop from New York to Los Angeles? None, sir. We go right there. We have some left over. Really? That's with diesel. I said, what about if it's electric? We have 6 to 7 stops, about 3 hours each. So immediately he's saying, that's not working too well. He said, but there are other problems. He said, the truck is so much heavier that you'd have to rebuild every bridge in the country. That doesn't sound too good, right? And then the third thing, he said that the battery is so much bigger than a tank, a big tank for the diesel or for the gasoline, but the diesel mostly. It's so much bigger that most of our payload would be holding batteries. In other words, we wouldn't have any room for the product. So let's say you hear those 3 minor details.
minor details.
Typically, you would end the conversation, would say, that doesn't work. These people said, we don't care. We want you to go all electric. Can you believe these people? They're crazy.
Gotta save the planet, man.
No, they're crazy. And they want boats to do the same thing. I was with in South Carolina, one of the biggest boat manufacturers of, smaller fishing boats from, let's say, 16 to 35 feet. And he said, we have a problem. They keep pushing, you know, the beautiful outboard engines. You have Mercury and Evinrude, I guess they used to have. I don't know if they have it anymore. But those big, beautiful outboard engines they have, they work great. Or just interior engines run by a thing called gasoline. So he said they want us to figure out how to go all electric in a boat, right? All electric. I said, well, what is the problem? He said, we'd have to take the entire lower cabin where we have bedrooms, and we'd have to make that into a battery. But the bigger problem is, sir, it won't float because it's so heavy. It won't float. It won't float. And I always tell the story with, like, well, what would you do? Because, you know, my uncle was a great professor at MIT for 41 years, I think. He's the longest serving, Dr. John Trump, she knows. He was great, very smart. We have a very smart family, actually. But he was a great guy, and I was very interested in this, but the press kills me all the time. They say, he keeps talking about sharks and this. I don't. I tell an analogy. If I'm in a boat, it's all electric, and it starts to sink. I asked the guy, do you get electrocuted sitting over this? And then I say, and I don't think there's anything wrong with this, do you? Because it's an analogy. I say, and if there's a shark about 10 yards away, right where they are, right where all the congressmen are, right over there, look at us. Well, they're sharks. They're sharks. If there's a shark about 10 yards away, do I get electrocuted or do I go with the shark? I said, because I will take electrocution all day long. Despite the environmentalists that say how wonderful sharks are. You ever hear these people? We had 3 killings by a shark this weekend, ripped people apart, and then you have the environmentalists going, well, they didn't mean to do it. They mistook them for a seal. They didn't want to hurt the child. No, I don't want that. Common sense, right? I mean, how about they catch a shark, vicious that they've been after, and they take him to a little deeper water and they put him back in? I wouldn't do that. Would anybody do that here? Let me ask you, this is Michigan. These guys wouldn't do it. But they always get on me. They say, why is he talking about electricity and sharks? What are they? Well, they know exactly. It's sort of a cute little story. Do I take electrocution or do I take death by a shark? And I'll always take electrocution. But isn't it ridiculous? Think of it. Isn't it ridiculous? They want to make a boat that's far too heavy, that can barely float, and they're driving people out of business. They're destroying this country. They're stupidly destroying this country. The Army tanks are the other one. They want to make all electric. We make the best tanks in the world. They want to have them. So that as we go into a country to bomb the hell out of it, we will do it in an environmentally friendly way. And you know, with an Army tank, again, the battery's very big, very heavy, and doesn't last long. You know what it is? It's an Army tank, and it's like you're pulling a wagon behind the Army tank. You're pulling a wagon like a child pulls a wagon, and it's loaded up with a battery. So we got to get back to common sense. The aircrafts, too. They want to make our jet fighters a biofuel jet fighter that shows 18% less efficiency. That's the difference between winning and losing
ridiculous,
a fight.
man.
And you know what happens? I say, I'm not doing it.
I want the
We
planes
ended
that
all
fly
of that stuff.
faster.
They
I don't
brought
know
it
about
back. We
you.
will end it on day one. We're not going to be doing
Stupid
that stuff.
shit.
In 4 short years under my leadership, I did more for Michigan auto workers and manufacturers than any president in the history of our country. And just as I promised, I withdrew from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which would have totally destroyed your auto industry. I ended the disaster known as NAFTA. That was the worst trade deal ever made. That was the worst trade deal considered by him. That was so unfair to us with Mexico and Canada, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with what they call the best trade deal ever made, the USMCA, Mexico and Canada. And I know it's good because Mexico and Canada are right now, as we speak, working like hell to try and renegotiate the deal. Don't do it, Biden. Well, he doesn't know what's going on. Don't do it. He's watching us now. He'll say, what's that trade deal they're talking about? Well, sir, they've been negotiating with us for about 2 years. I never heard of that negotiation. Where is Mexico anyway? Where is it? See, now the fake news will take the statement I just say, where is Mexico? And they'll put it on television. Trump didn't know where Mexico is. Oh, they do. They do. It's very dangerous. The biggest threat I have to my administration is sarcasm, because they play it against me. When I show that he can't walk off, he can never find the entrances off a stage, like one here, one there, two here. He could jump off the front, I guess. And whenever I imitate him, I called my wife. She's great. Our wife, she's great. Our great First Lady. I said, and she looked great the other night. She made that entrance. She made a lot of entrances. She was something. But she walked in, but I told her the other night, I said, how good was I? How good? This was at a rally a couple of weeks ago. How good was I? Well, you were really good, but not great. Why? Well, it showed that you didn't know how to get off the stage. Well, I was imitating Biden. So what they do is they show the imitation of Biden. They said Trump didn't know how to get off the stage. That's our fake news. So we have to be very careful. So I haven't done it in about 3 weeks. I'll do it again, but maybe not right now. It's too... Darling, you were great. I mean, I get these crowds, 50, 60, 70,000. In New Jersey, we're leading New Jersey by 4 points, by the way. We're leading Michigan by 6 points. Right. And a report just came out. Actually, we're leading everywhere and nationally, and we have to keep it that way. Got to make sure they don't cheat. Got to make sure they don't cheat. I took on China like no administration in history, bringing hundreds of billions of dollars pouring into our treasury when no other president had gotten 10 cents. You know, China never gave us 10 cents. I got hundreds of billions of dollars from China. And I got along very well with President Xi. He was a great guy. He wrote me a beautiful note the other day when he heard about what happened. And he wrote me a beautiful, most of the leaders do. You know, a lot of them didn't like what I was doing to them, but they also knew it was about time. The jig was up, right? It was about time. But they wrote me, almost all of them wrote me notes. It was nice. No, I have a good relationship with all of them. That's a good thing. You know, a lot of times the press would say, he gets along with Kim Jong-un, North Korea. He has a lot of nuclear weapons. I got along with him great. You were never in danger with me as your president. It's a good thing to get along, not a bad thing. I used to tell him, why don't you do something else? All he wants to do is buy nuclear weapons and make them. I said, just relax, chill. You got enough. You got so much nuclear weapons, so much. I said, just relax. Go to let's go to a baseball game. I'll show you what a baseball. We'll go watch the Yankees, or we'll come watch Michigan at its home opener. Okay, how about that? Are you going to have a good team this year, I think, right? Pretty good. I heard good. I heard good, but who the hell knows, right? Guy drops a pass, that's the end of that season. It's a risky business. I proudly imposed a 27.5 tariff on all Chinese auto imports to keep China and Chinese cars, keep them out of America. You don't sell a lot of Chinese cars in here because of what, and if you did, it'd be fewer cars that you made. We're going to bring back the auto industry because of, we're going to bring it back. We're going to have them. If they want to come in and sell us cars, they can, but they have to build plants here, and they have to hire our workers, and that's fine, and nobody can say anything about it. Under the radical Democrat policies, the U.S. auto industry is being decimated. You know, we lost 64% of our industry over the years, 64%. We were a giant. And now they're made, a lot of them made in Mexico. Mexico's taken 35% of the auto industry. And we did something very strong. We did something very strong with Mexico. But you know, when I was building the wall, I said, you have to give us 28,000 soldiers. And they laughed at me. I hate when people laugh at me. I hate it. I hate it. No, it's so disrespectful. They laughed at me. We won't do that. Why would we do that? I said, because you have to. We're building the wall. People are flowing in through your country. We want 28,000 soldiers to protect us while we're building the wall. They said, no, no, no. And then they said, after I said, look, here's the story. If you don't do it, we're going to charge you a 25% tariff on every car that you send into America. And then it's going to 50% next month. Then it's going to 75%. And then it's going to 100%, and then I'll stop. And the gentleman representing the president's a great guy. He's no longer president, but he's a great guy. He was a great guy, still is. But he said, I'd like to discuss this with the president. I said, 5 minutes, I got to go. I have something much more important to do. And he came back. He said, Mr. President, we would love to give you soldiers to protect your wall, free of charge, of course. That's how I got those great numbers on that beautiful, beautiful graph that we talk about. They gave us everything I wanted. I got everything from Mexico, and then this stupid person, low IQ. He's a low IQ individual. Take his IQ. I guarantee you it's in the low 50s or 60s. And he's negotiating against Putin, President Xi of China, Macron of France, very smart guy. I told him he was going to do something very bad to our country. I said, that's okay, you can do it, but I'm going to put a 100% tariff on all wines and champagnes that come in from France. He said, no, 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 Donald, you cannot do that. I said, I'm doing it. Donald, you cannot do that. That's not fair. He's going to charge our companies, American companies, 25% for doing nothing, for being in France. Big deal, right? Big deal. So I said, okay, that's all right. I'm charging you 100% tariff. I gave it to all my people, Mnuchin, all smart guys. They came back, sir, they won't do it. They won't budge. I said, they'll budge. I called them up. And I talked to the president of France, Emmanuel Macron. He's a nice guy. I said, but he's, he likes France. I like the USA. Does that make sense? I said, Emmanuel, it's so nice to talk to you. I understand you're going to charge our companies 25%, Emmanuel. Yes, 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 Donald. It was approved by whoever the hell approves the parliament. Whatever the hell they have over there, they were going to approve it. It's been fully approved. Yes, I'm so sorry. I said, well, that's okay. You can add approve, but here's the story. Starting tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, every bottle of wine and every bottle of champagne that's shipped into the United States is going to have a 100% tariff on it. No, 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 you cannot do that. That is not fair. I said, it's not fair for you to charge our companies 25%. He said, you cannot do it. I said, I'm signing the papers now. I will call you right back. Calls me back. Donald, we would be delighted, Mr. President, to take that tax off. We have decided to take it off. It'll be off by tonight, sir. It'll be off by tonight. And it was off. And it was off. You think Joe Biden does that?
Lonely.
He doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Where are you? Say hi if you're in the chat.
Their policies are no good. Remember, whether it's Biden or anybody
peeps
else, they
aren't
want
here.
open borders. They want all the same stuff. So it's like, but he's in particular, he's pretty bad.
They're all getting ready for movie night
Can
tonight.
you imagine? These
7
killers, these are sharp. The press gets angry. They said, is President Xi of China, is he a smart man? I said, no, he's a brilliant man. He controls 1.4 billion people with an iron fist. He makes guys like Biden look like babies. They don't even know whether they're coming or going. Yes, the next day headline, Trump calls him brilliant. How dare? No, okay. Let's say he's not a smart man. Okay, whatever makes you happy. No matter what you do, I say he's a brilliant man. They went crazy because I called him brilliant. So I'm just going to have to say, he's okay. He's okay. No, he's very smart. But, and you know what else? He's a fierce person. Do you understand that? Some of the people here know that, what this means, especially some of the women, right? They know better than the men about fierce. I know the women, they know better than the men. They're more fierce than the men. Oh, her. But no, he's a fierce individual. He's a fierce man. Can you imagine when he meets this guy? He thinks Trump is playing a joke on him. He actually thinks there's some kind of that I'm playing a joke. He doesn't believe what happened. He doesn't believe the last election. He thinks I'm playing a joke on him. But can you imagine President Xi, Putin, all of them? They're all smart, tough. They love their country, or they want to do well with their country, whatever it is, all ideology. But we have to have somebody that can protect us. And Orban was right. We have to have somebody that can protect us. Right now, we have really low IQ people in there. And the president in particular, he has about a 70 IQ, and he's going against 210. And it never works out. It never works out. When I'm back in the White House,
We're listening here to former President Donald Trump speak at the first rally since his assassination attempt 1 week ago today. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break. Stick with us here. More to come on Live Now from Fox.
Product in America is to build it in America. They have to
Hey, we got somebody. I caught a fish. Hey, LZ. Just taking a bathroom break there. What's up, buddy? Yeah, you know, I like RFK Jr. There's a lot of things I like about him. Yeah, the Republican convention was exciting. A lot of good momentum. Definitely a populist, not a conservative, right? Changing the whole party. Redefine the entire party, actually. Which is a good thing. Because the Republican Party is a bit stodgy. So, yeah, there's a lot of really cool excitement. It was the best RNC I've ever seen. But, you know, maybe Trump will use RFK Jr. within the administration. What do you think about that? I mean, he could do some shit in the CDC there, right there. Clean that shit up. I read a 16-hour book. I'm a audiobook manufacturer, and so I know all about these stupid vaccinations, and I understand that these things were never based on science. They don't even test these things to placebos, ever. They always test them to the previous vaccine, which, you know, you got all the aluminum and shit and junk in there, mercury and all that other crap. It's going to make you sick, right? So, yeah, okay, they got just as sick as they did before, right? That might not be a bad choice, but I kind of prefer like Sheriff Clark for Attorney General, or let me see who else. There's a couple of people I really like for Attorney General.
For the last 4 or 5 times, I've really been good, but you know, you lose a little something. But reciprocal trade, it basically means you screw us and we'll screw you. It's very simple. And I can't describe it. And I don't think it's foul, but he's probably right. To further protect Michigan auto workers, I will end the Biden-Harris electric vehicle mandate on day one. It's going to end on day one. And I will immediately terminate the Green New scam, and we're going to use that money to build roads and highways and bridges.
So this infrastructure deal that we supposedly had, where the hell is it all anyway?
Inflation is
I
wiping
don't see
out
any
our
of it.
middle class. Groceries are up 57%. Gasoline is up 69%. Mortgage rates have quadrupled. They've gone up 3, 4, 5 times. And they never include that in their stats, you know. They never include those things. They never include mortgage rates. And you can't get the money anyway, so what really is the number? And since Democrats took over, total household costs have increased by an average of $28,000 per family. Think of that. Under my leadership, we will throw out Bidenomics, and we will replace it very simply with Maganomics. Maganomics.
Hey, LZ, if you got nothing to do tonight, man, check us out at 7 o'clock. We're having a watch party.
You know, I have to just interject. If you would turn off those cameras, because I don't want this. See the screen up there of me? That's very severe, that comb over.
What happened to my camera?
That's a severe sucker. What's with that one?
Oops. There we go.
It looks okay from the other side.
Yeah, check us out, man. 7 o'clock, we're going live.
But that is
We're going to
very
watch Hillbilly
severe.
Elegy tonight.
I apologize.
It's going to be fun.
Man, I looked up there. I said, whoa.
Learn a little bit about J.D. Vance.
Look at that. Wow.
I don't know a lot about
That's
him.
like a work of art.
Supposedly a really good movie. It was a good book, too, I guess. Well written. You got to admit, man, Donald Trump's got the cult of personality.
Only
right
look
now.
at that one. Don't look. That one looks. To bring down the prices of all goods, we will end the Biden-Harris war on American energy, and we will drill, baby, drill. We're going
Drill,
to start
baby,
that
drill.
Day one. Under the Trump administration, we had energy independence.
Well,
and
we all
soon
up
we
here
will
in the
have
central,
energy
with the central
dominant.
Maine.
We will be more dominant than
But
any
I'm working on
country
moving
by
to Florida,
far.
so.
And we were just 4 years ago. We were
A little scared,
we
but
started off at number 4.
excited
we got
to.
to number 3, and then we had to beat Russia. We beat them. Then we had to beat Saudi Arabia. We beat them, and we were like a rocket ship. And then we had this idiotic result. But we will be, and again, we have more. You know, Anwar in Alaska, it's probably the biggest find anywhere in the world. The size of Saudi Arabia, some people say, who knows what it is, but it's massive.
The only thing about
Ronald
Trump
Reagan
is I would
tried
say
to
that
get
I
it,
wish
couldn't
just,
get it,
you know,
and that was
sometimes
easier
more
in
is
those
less.
days environmentally. They
And
stopped
I
to put
don't
the
think he's
environment,
figured
you know,
that
the
out yet.
environment is
That
very important to me, and
acceptance speech at the
environmentalism is
RNC
very
should have
important,
been
but
like,
you can't use it to destroy
like
a
the front
country.
part of what he said.
And they
And
stopped
thank you
it.
very much. I accept the nomination. Good
They
night.
stopped it for
That should have been
years
it.
based on the environment.
Shouldn't have
I
made
got
it. It
approved.
shouldn't have made
was
it a
totally
rally
done.
speech.
This is after
I
since
even
Ronald
tuned
Reagan,
out,
who
and I
worked
love
so
Donald
hard
Trump.
to
So
get Anwar. He wanted to be able to drill in Alaska. Think of it as the size of
But
Saudi Arabia, approximately.
in
bigger than
comparison to a
Texas,
twice-baked
bigger than
potato,
everything. We would have had something that nobody else even comes
I
close
think I'll
to.
go with Trump. Thanks.
And on the first week in office, his Department of the Interior person, who was just put in Department of Interior, she outlawed it. She said, we're not going to use it, stopped all work. They were ready to start drilling. It took them a while to get ready. They're ready to start drilling. The money would have been incredible. The prices were very high. We're the only country that stops drilling when the prices are at an all-time high. And we stopped
Seattle?
drilling.
Are you
We'll
in
get that
Seattle,
back, and I'll get it
Washington?
back very
Oh
fast. But
shit!
Anwar,
You're in the
they
home of
got it.
Antifa.
Unbelievable.
Oh God. Seattle?
And I will cut
Oh
taxes
shit!
even
My
further
daughter
than
lives
we
in
did
Seattle.
before,
She
and
dyed her
that
hair
includes
green and won't talk to me
no
anymore.
tax on tips, right? No tax on tips. All the government does is harass everybody over it anyway. It's like a big harassment operation. They hired 88,000 IRS people to go harass everybody. So if you work in a restaurant, if you drive a cab, or if you do anything having to do with tips, I hope you're going to remember, you know, bartenders, let's see.
Man, I'm going to build my entire
Workers, a
business
caddy,
based on
a
tips,
barber.
dude.
Barbers
Donations
get
and tips. I'm not going
I
to
don't
pay a
give mine a
dime in
big tip
taxes if
because
this
I
guy
don't
gets
think they do a very good
president.
job. If you're a
I
mover,
kinda
driver,
can't
or
wait.
anyone
I'm pretty
else that
excited about that.
relies on tips, the money is going to be 100% yours. You better
It'll
go
be
vote.
huge.
If that doesn't get you out, if that doesn't
I'll
get
dance for
you off
quarters.
your
I don't
ass to
care.
go out and vote for Trump, nothing will. Got to do it.
Do it
Right?
every day
Gotta
anyway.
do it. And as we rescue our economy, I will also restore the sacred and sovereign borders of a place called
Have you ever tuned in
the
before,
United
LZ?
States of America, right? United States of America. With Democrats in charge, the greatest invasion in history is taking place right now. This is an invasion of our country. You know, you remember during the time I was trying to get the wall, and I was getting all sorts of assurances, and you couldn't get it from Congress. It was incredible. So I did get a lot of money for the military. So
I
put an
think the
extra
entire
10
Inca
billion,
tax
I put
system is
an extra 10 billion. I then called it an invasion.
questionably
of our country. They took it out to the
constitutional
military,
at best.
And I got it built. And now we're going to build it larger. We have to
Right,
close
you know,
up the areas
we've
that
been
weren't
living under
built.
it for how long,
We
right?
have
So
certain areas areas where we needed to have them open for a little while for getting all of our stuff
Maybe we
back.
get a flat
I
tax,
don't
man.
like
Flat
leaving
tax would be
brand new
good.
bulldozers and everything on the other side of the border, right? We want to close it up. But we had certain areas we had to close up. And when they took over, they said, we're not going to close it. I said, these guys actually do. I thought they were kidding. I thought they were not being serious. Who would want an open border? Who would want an open border where people come in from prisons and jails and mental institutions? Either people that don't love our country.
Did you know the crime statistics in
people
like
that are not
Argentina?
stupid because
They've
anybody
had their
that can
best
cheat
rate
that well in an
as far as
election's
murder
not
like
stupid.
ever. Venezuela
Or
too.
Maybe a new thing
Because
is emerging
they're all here
where they want to get
in
people
the
to
United
vote
States.
illegally.
Fuckers.
And they don't care. They have no shame. And we're watching that. Our chairman
But
is here. The
they'll
Republican
be the
chairman
first to
is
say
here, the
that
whole thing. See? The
statistics
big
say that
boss is here
immigrants are
in
less likely to
Michigan, so
commit
you gotta
crimes than
remember
normal.
that.
African human beings.
But we're working on that, but they do. They're trying to sign people up who just came in, who have no idea where they are, what they're doing. They came in. And in many cases, they're very rough people, but they came in, they're trying to sign them up to vote. This is what they'll do. Because think of it. If they have open borders, if they have men playing in women's sports, if they have a raise in, they're going to raise your taxes by four times. 4 times. Think of it. What you're paying now, you're going to pay 4 times more.
I wish he wouldn't
With
say that.
policy like
I don't
this,
know where he
nobody
gets
can get
that.
elected. The only way you can
so
get
easy to
elected
shoot
is
down, and
cheat.
it just makes him
And they
look
are really good at it. That's the
not
only
serious.
thing they're good at. That's the only thing
He's
they
gonna raise
focus
the
on.
taxes
They
by
have no
4x.
good policies. They don't do anything well. But they're using these people, and they're trying to sign up the people. And we've caught them, and we sue.
But I still
and we
love
do
Trump,
all
and
the
I'm still
things
gonna
that
vote
you
for
have
him,
to
so.
do. But they have no shame whatsoever. So that's really
But
one of the big reasons I think they're allowing it. Because
plays
they're
with the
not-
truth a
they're
little
not
bit.
stupid
Little
enough
bit.
to allow prisoners and people
Not
from
like the
mental
other side, though.
institutions, people from insane asylums.
So you
and
think
it
Joe's
drives
going to
them
drop out,
crazy.
dude? Is he going to drop out?
Hannibal
I don't think
Lecter.
he's going to drop out.
The late,
I don't think
great
he's going to drop
Hannibal
out.
Lecter
I think
would
he's
like
going
to
to be a
have you for dinner.
hard-ass son of a bitch.
He wants you for
Full-blown
dinner. That's the end of
dementia.
you, by the way.
Fuck you,
But,
narcissist.
no, these people are being dumped
can't-
into our
you can't-
country, and
you can't do
nothing-
this to me.
nothing good is gonna
That's what I
happen
think's gonna
from it.
happen.
That's why we have to do a big deportation.
I think
and
that
get
the
them
whole
hell
thing
out,
about him
okay?
resigning this weekend was a leak by the Obama administration.
Meanwhile,
Mm-hmm.
our crime rate is going up while crime statistics all over the world are plunging. We have become a dumping ground for the world, which is laughing at us. They can't believe how stupid we are, how stupid
How
we
embarrassing.
are with
How
destroying our
embarrassing.
country. They can't believe what they're getting away with, but they're getting away with it at levels that they never thought possible. In Venezuela, crime is down 72%. You know, Caracas, Venezuela, was a very, very dangerous place. And now, because of the great job they've done in removing their criminals into the United States, next year we're going to have our Michigan rally in Caracas, Venezuela, because it's nice and safe. Okay? Does that sound like a good idea to you? Because we want safety. Now, the press is going to write that. They're going to say,
He's
Donald Trump
playing
proposed next year's
around.
Michigan rally in Caracas, Venezuela. They'll say, isn't that horrible? Isn't that unpatriotic? You understand. This is what I have to go with. I'm only kidding, press. I'm only kidding.
He's the best troll
Although
on
maybe
the
it's
planet,
not a bad idea.
dude.
So El Salvador is an interesting one because I know the
Absolutely.
president. He's a young guy, and he's been getting this great press that his crime rate's way down, and they're training their criminals. Well, you don't train criminals, okay? You know, maybe every once in a while you get lucky, but you don't. So in El Salvador, murders are down 70%. He's saying, yes, we're teaching. He's different. Most of them just say, well, the United States is stupid, so we're dumping all our criminals. He does it differently, smart. He goes, we're working with our people that are causing problems and crime. And he's not working with them. He's dumping them in the United States.
Right.
And their crime rate, their murder rate is down 72%, 73%.
But he's not lying.
And I don't blame him because if I was running one of
But
those
yet, if you
countries-
listen to
and we're not just
the
talking in
Commie
South
News
America,
Network, they'll say,
but if I were
Donald
running
Trump
one of those
lied
countries, I would've
37
been
times
doing
in
it much
13
more. They're
minutes.
also emptying their jails. The big thing is their jails. Those jails were packed. Now, all
He
of
said
a
the
sudden,
sky
it's
was
like,
bluish
oh,
when actually it's
isn't this
really
wonderful? They're doing such a
blue.
wonderful job.
Okay?
They're dumping their criminals into the United
Yes,
States of
they
America.
are.
And we're not going to take it anymore. Stupid people. You're not going to teach a criminal not to be a criminal. Not going to happen. And you don't have the time, you don't have the energy, because you have to do other things. That is why, as soon as I take the oath of office, we will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of our country.
Do it.
Even larger
Do it
than
now.
that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower many years ago. He
Deport
was a
them
big deportation
all.
person.
They don't belong here.
Under the radical left Democrats, Michigan communities are being overrun with migrant crime. You know that better than anybody, right? Does everybody agree? It's being unbelievable. In Oakland County, criminal squads of illegal alien gang members are hiding in the trees and breaking into Michigan homes after dark, looting them for jewelry, purses. They're taking the women's purses right out of their bedrooms. Electronics, cash, they're stealing, they're robbing the houses. Earlier this year in Kent County, does anybody live in Kent County here? Sounds good to me, but you're not gonna like this. A sadistic illegal alien, of which there are many criminals, was sentenced for executing a 22-year-old Grand Rapids woman while she was in her car with her 1-year-old baby, shooting her at least 5 times with a rifle at point-blank range, while the killer was wanted on an outstanding warrant for attempted strangulation of another woman. When I return to the White House, we will stop the plunder, rape, slaughter, and destruction of our American suburbs, cities, and towns. We will shut down deadly sanctuary cities. We're not going to have them anymore. And we will shift massive portions of federal law enforcement to immigration enforcement. We're going to get the bad ones out. We're going to get them out immediately. It's not going to take long. We're going to rely on law enforcement, and we're going to give law enforcement back their dignity, respect, and power so they're allowed to protect you. It's no wonder Joe Biden and his thugs are so desperate to stop us. They know that we are the only ones who can stop them. We're the only ones. You know, we talk about Biden like he's a feeble old guy, and he is. But it's the people that surround him. I mean, he's perfect for them. This is the fascists, communists, and some bad people.
I'm screwing around trying to figure something out
just
here.
about all of them. I can tell you about all of them. Did you hear about our big victory in Florida last week? Did you hear? We won the big case. We're going to take down Trump. We're going to take down Trump. No, when you have a great court system, when you have honorable judges, people that really love the country, good things can happen. But we won that case in its entirety. That was the one that's going to take them down. They've been saying that for, what, 8 years now, right? And here we are leading in every poll. We got to get it close. You got it close. You got it close. We don't want to talk too much. I always say, if we win, because I don't like saying when we win, because they cheat like hell. So, if we win. But
I'm sorry, I've been real busy, man. I'm
4 months.
We got a movie night tonight. It's our launch of our first Saturday night movie show.
4 months is like an eternity.
We're going to watch Hillbilly Elegy tonight. We're excited about that. That's going to be really fucking cool. And then on Sunday, we have church, Way Truth Life Church. Here, it's totally interactive. You want to ask questions, interrupt. Man, we're all about that.
The radical left
and then
Democrats
every morning, Monday through Friday,
in 2020, and we're not going to allow
8 to 10, pretty much. We're here doing live, me and my wife, Jenny Bear. And we're breaking this shit down and trying to figure it out all out together. We got a great crew of people. Love my peeps. So you want to join. You definitely want to fucking join. Hang out and join the conversation because we have fun in the mornings. We have a lot of fun.
Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of honor. You know, I've been indicted more than the legendary Alphonse Capone, Scarface. He was a tough man. See that guy right there? Ultra MAGA. You're Ultra MAGA. He's tough as hell. But if Alphonse didn't like you, you would be in the foundation of a building rising someplace in your great state, right? He was not. He was a tough cookie, this guy. I got indicted more than Alphonse Capone. think of it. My parents are looking down. I had wonderful parents. They never saw this for me. They never saw, let's see, I'm voting for, oh, I don't want to even read that one. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. But these aren't indictments. These are Biden indictments. These are a sick, weak, pathetic man who can't run an election, so he indicts his opponent thinking that's going to win. And in many cases, it would. You know, third world countries do this a lot. Banana republics do it a lot. We've never done it. And we're going to teach them why they can never do it again. Because it's actually...
We're covering the Donald Trump rally right now.
Our poll numbers way up.
Let us know you're here.
And then we had
join in the chat.
Did anybody watch the debate?
It's more fun that way. Gets the algorithm going. There's more people in the room.
Who won the debate?
Like, subscribe, share. Like and bookmark gives us a 30x boost in viewership. So please do that on X. Definitely.
Paul, free Paul. I just saved $300,000. Isn't it something these pollsters, I have Tony Fabrizio and McLaughlin back there. I got to be careful. But I just saved $300,000.
And just to let you know, while we're in the middle of all this,
97 people have
This program was made possible by from viewers like you.
oh, I screwed my own promo up.
People outside. I wish we could include them. I'd love to get them in. Would anybody like to leave now and let the other people come? That's not nice. Never forget, our enemies want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. They
Stepped on my own dick.
Me because I will
Apparently.
never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me, they're after you. I just happen to be standing in their way. Right? I always will, fellas.
Next time I got to do it this way, right?
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
That's better.
They are, I know every one of them, including your next U.S. Senator from Michigan, Mike Rogers. And Mike is just as adamant as me. He'll vote to stop the invasion, end inflation, halt the outsourcing of Michigan jobs, and bring back the auto industry. You are going to double or triple your auto industry within the next 3 years under Trump. Mark it down. Mark it down. Because we're not taking their cars. We want them to build the cars here, using you people to build them. Also with us is another good man who is running for Michigan Senate seat, Sandy Pensler. Do you know Sandy? So I have a big announcement to make then. Sandy has just announced that he would like to do something very important tonight. So you have Mike, who's a total pro, Sandy, who's a total pro. I'd like to ask both of them to come on up, and I'd like to have Sandy make a statement first. Thank you. Come on up, fellas.
Good to see you, Jeff. I got to get out of here in a few minutes, man. He's going to run long, man. I'm going to bail probably. 'Cause I got that other stream I got to set up. I got the movie all queued up, man. I'm excited. I got like intros and all sorts of shit I've been working on, man. I'm pretty stoked for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. President. I was so inspired when President Trump kissed the empty uniform of Corey Competore. I flashed back immediately to a couple days after 9/11 at the local firehouse where I hugged the lone remaining survivor and looked out at 12 empty uniforms. Thank you for honoring all of them as well. My campaign was always about making America better. The best way to do that is to enact President Trump's policies. Let's go, Trump! Let's go, Trump! To do that, we need control of the Senate. A divisive, continued primary effort hurts the chances of that, and that's not okay. So tonight, I'm doing the right thing and ceasing my Senate candidacy.
Whoa. Wow.
No, it's not an aha. It's the right thing. President Trump endorsed Mike Rogers. Tonight, so am I.
Wow.
Mike's gonna make a heck of a senator. So I want you guys to look around the room.
It's interesting.
Tonight, because everything goes through Michigan. The presidency, the Senate, the House, and the State House. Look around, make a pledge to each other. We're gonna fight like hell to save America and elect Donald Trump, Mike Rogers, and the rest of the ticket on the Republican Party. Thank you.
Fight. What an energized, unified Republican Party. How exciting is this, dudes?
Thank you,
Dudettes.
Sandy. I am honored
No offense.
to have you stand with us and all
Rice and
Republicans
Peas.
to win the state of Michigan. Thank you for your
What's
courage.
up?
Thank you for your leadership. You're going to be an important
Thanks for
voice
joining
going
us.
forward in our party in Michigan.
You want to join us at 7 o'clock
And
for
Mr.
our
President, I
movie
wanna
night
say
tonight?
this.
We're going to watch
As a former
Hillbilly
law
Elegy.
enforcement guy, it wasn't that
Yeah.
the bullet took you to the ground. It
Good to
was
see
the
you here.
fact that you got back up for America.
Damn straight. Got back the fuck up. I love my president. My president. Can I say it a third time? My president.
You bet.
Fucking A. Make America great again.
I have spent my career working to protect America as an Army officer, as an FBI agent working organized crime in Chicago.
Good to have you here, dude.
As the chairman
Really
of the
good to have
House
you here.
Intelligence
Appreciate
Committee.
you.
I have never
Each and every
seen
one of you that
a
tune in,
more
I appreciate you.
unsafe America because of the Democrats over the last 4
Been working
years.
hard for 2 years to make this thing work. I get so excited every time somebody comes in here, man, new.
Here's the good news, Mr. President. You will have a partner in the United States Senate that will bring manufacturing back to Michigan. We are the arsenal of democracy. We will be again in this great state. And I'll pledge to you, I will get Department of Justice reoriented to actually going after criminals. We are going to dismantle fentanyl distribution from here to the steppes of China.
There you go.
And we're going to tell China,
Let's get
you
done.
sell in the United States, you'll have a price to pay.
Let's get it done.
Mr. President, I'll guarantee you this as well. With your leadership, winning the state of Michigan, winning for the United States, putting America back in Washington, D.C. versus Washington, D.C. and the rest of America, we will make America respected again. We will bring back law and order.
I wouldn't
again.
step on a
We
plane to
will
go to the
make
United Kingdom right
America
now if you
safe
fucking paid
again.
me.
Let's
I've
flip
been
the
there,
Senate.
man.
Let's elect
I took a
Donald
church
J.
history
Trump
tour,
and
man.
Mike
I
Rogers
went
to
to England
the
20
Senate,
years
and
ago.
let's
I would
get
never go anywhere
busy.
near that place
Thank
right
you.
now. No way. No way. No. No fucking way. No way. Oh my God. Too many moose lambs. Right?
We're unifying the party, and that was beautiful to watch. Thank you, Sandy and Mike. And Mike, good luck. You're running against somebody that's such a bad senator. You don't even, I was there for 4 years plus. I don't even remember meeting that particular person. This is not a senator for Michigan. Mike Rogers is going to be a great senator. He's got gravitas. He really knows his way, highly respected in Washington. And I think, I mean, it should be an easy race. Nothing's easy, but it should be an easy race. So good luck. Good luck. And thank you very much, Sandy, Mike.
There we go.
We're also joined by members of
Good, I
Congress
can't see
and
me.
they're great people, friends of mine, warriors. Jack Bergman. Jack? Thank you, Jack. Great job. A real friend of mine, somebody I was very
Yeah,
much
he's
in
got
favor of
to
right at
do
the
it hard
beginning,
this time.
John
He's got to do it
James.
really hard this time.
Thank you, John.
He knows where the bodies are buried.
A warrior, somebody who helped me do a lot of different things. He gets things done. Bill Heisinger.
He made a lot of
Thank you,
mistakes
Bill.
his first time around, okay? And I'm praying that now, because he knows where the bodies are buried,
And another
he's going to
one.
get all on
These
it.
are all great people.
He's going to fucking
Tim
not mess around
Walker,
this time.
Thank you for everything you've done, Tim.
I think he was a
You've been
bit overwhelmed in the
unbelievable.
beginning,
Always there
right?
for
I
me,
mean,
right?
you know, it's understandable,
there.
right?
And a man from a slightly different location, a little bit down. You're not going to get there with an electric car, but unless you want to stop a few times. But he comes from a state known as Florida, a great place, and he's so respected. He's such an incredible man.
I mean, can you
Brian
think about how
Mast.
much shit was working against him? They were withholding information from him,
Oh,
man.
Brian. Thank you, Brian. What a guy he is. He's
Six
a
sons
warrior.
of
He's a
bitches.
real warrior. Thank you, Brian. Michigan House Republican leader, Matt Hall. Thank you, Matt. Good job you're doing, Matt. Are we going to win, Matt? Will you please make sure?
Matt Ball.
We need these local ones, right? That's right. Michigan Senate Republican leader, Eric Nesbitt. Thank you, Eric. Great.
I can't believe how
Thank
deep that swamp really is.
Good job.
It is. I mean, so
A
many
congressional
unelected
candidate
bureaucrats,
who I hear is doing
all
very
installed by
well,
Democrats.
Tom Barrett.
It's fucked up.
Tom, get in there and win. Good. A friend of mine who was really brave, ran a tough race. It's amazing, actually. Really did well. Her father was a very special guy who was in the steel industry, and he passed away. A battle with cancer, a long time battle, but he was fantastic. And I got to know them both very well. She's a terrific woman. Tudor Dixon.
Guys, we're in for a shit show like you cannot believe.
Thank
dude.
you, Tudor.
You think this is over? This isn't even
Ambassador
close to
Joe
being over.
Sella.
This is just the beginning.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay,
Good
I'm-
job you're doing, Joe.
I'm kind of shocked they didn't wait until the
Very
last minute to try and kill
important
him.
person in this room,
What are they gonna do
Michigan
now?
GOP chairman. Where are you?
Crazy shit.
Okay.
Crazy tunes, man.
Pete Hoekstra.
Every day I wake up.
There he is.
That's Hegseth. Say it right.
I fought like hell for him to take that job, right, Pete? I said, Pete, you got to do it. How are we doing, Pete? How are we doing? Huh? We're doing good. If you're in charge, he's going to win. He was a congressman, a really good one, respected. He left. I made him ambassador.
Oh, it's supposed to be a
He
different
was a
name.
great ambassador, and I then said, Pete, you got to do it. He lives here. I said, you got to do it, and we appreciate you.
If he
doing
doesn't,
it.
it's
Both of
good.
you.
I mean,
thank you very much. We
look,
appreciate it very much.
God has his hand on him.
RNC chairman.
And if he
put on
doesn't,
that show
it's
with
because God
a
wants
person
it all to
named
explode.
Laura Trump.
And it
How
will
good is
explode.
she? How good is she?
If Biden comes up with 91 million votes, then nobody's going to buy this
And her
shit this
husband
time.
made a very
No
good speech the other
fucking
night,
body.
didn't
No one.
Eric and Don.
It's ridiculous.
I don't want to talk about anyone else, only my kids, you know? But they all did well. Everybody did well, honestly.
Fucking
I
81.
do
Nobody.
think,
Who
I do
believes
think
81 million
Hulk
votes
Hogan, I
to
thought
begin
he was
with?
incredible.
Really?
I hadn't seen him in a while. And I'll tell you what, I'm not going to mess with him, right? We're not going to mess with the Hulkster. But he was fantastic.
Oh, the
other
Hulk was
night.
awesome, dude.
All of them.
So
Every single one. My
Americana.
granddaughter
Did you see
did
that?
very well. Look,
Holy
she's
shit.
started- What about, who said that? Who said my granddaughter? Wow.
Yeah, it was
God.
great. It was totally corny. It was
Guys,
totally hokey, and it was
great golfer. She's a great golfer.
awesomeness.
But we have another man who's very important, and the RNC chairman.
I almost had an
Michael
orgasm
Watley,
watching
has been
Hulk Hogan,
incredible,
okay?
wherever Michael is.
And I'm not a wrestling fan, man. It was just about
Thank you, Mike.
Americana,
Great job.
right?
I said, Michael, you have one job. We got so many votes, we don't know
Which
what
is
to
which
do
has
with it.
been
We gotta
dead,
go
and
out
which
to-
we need
When
to
those
be
votes
raised
get
from the
put
dead.
in,
We
they
are
can't
so
be missing.
desperately
They
dead.
can't throw them out. They can't stuff ballot boxes. They can't cheat. Make sure. And you know, he headed up North Carolina, and on that night
Yeah, you got that right,
a while
LZ.
ago, that certain election
It's an
night,
information
that
war,
miserable
man.
Where we thought it
You
was
know?
won at 10 o'clock in the evening, and then all of a sudden...
InfoWars,
additional votes
probably
have
the
been
best
reported in
branding on the
various places.
planet,
We don't have to get into it.
right?
North Carolina
Courtesy you
held
know
totally
who.
steady. He had 603
InfoWars.
lawyers working. Other people
This is
didn't
all
have
about
lawyers
information,
working.
which is I'm so glad
And,
people are tuning
bad
in here
things happened, but this guy held,
to help
and I said,
filter
"That's the
this
guy
shit
I
out
want to run the
correctly.
party." And
There's a
Michael,
lot
I
of
know
shit
you're
going
doing
on, a
great
lot of
job,
noise, a
and
lot of
you're gonna do
words.
Something very special. We don't need votes. We need to guard the vote.
And you know
ever
what?
hear the
I'll call out
expression,
Trump
"Too
when he's
big to
wrong.
rig"?
He fucked up
The
when he
more
made a
we get in
90-minute
there, the
acceptance
harder it
speech.
is
Okay,
for
I'll tell you
them.
that. Should have been
My
6
daughter
minutes.
and her husband, Tiffany, and Michael,
Right?
where are you? Tiffany and
But I
Michael,
still love
you're
him.
around here someplace?
He's the only
Two
option we
great
had,
people.
really. Hey, Robin Z.
Recently- Thank you, Tiff. Great people. And Michael's father's here tonight. Highly respected
Hey,
guy, great business
great.
man,
I'm
and a
glad to be
highly respected
joining
guy.
you while you're cooking
From the
supper,
moment
man.
we take back the White
So
House
awesome.
from crooked Joe
Don't burn
Biden
yourself.
and Kamala, I call her laughing
That shit hurts.
Kamala.
I'm a chef, I
You ever
know.
watch her laugh? She's crazy.
Thanks for tuning in.
You know, you can tell a lot by a laugh. No, she's crazy. She's nuts. She's not as crazy as Nancy Pelosi. Crazy Nancy. Did you see Nancy Pelosi is selling out Biden now? Did you see? She turned
No,
on
you
him
know,
like a
I
dog.
think what's going to happen is we're
I
all
don't
going to be
know if he should
disappointed.
continue.
We're going
All
to
of a
want
sudden,
him to
where
be
did that
more
come from?
retributionary
She
than
was
he's actually going to
100%
be.
all of a sudden,
That's what
she's
I
not
think.
sure.
But I
Not
think
sure
he's going to
means he's
deliver
got
us some meat.
But
I think we'll get a little
crazy
meat.
as a bed bug. She's a crazy person.
Now I love cooking too. God, I love cooking.
I believe we're going to have
They're pretty good at
the
baking,
4
too.
greatest years of the history
I can
of
bake
our
a pretty
country, I
mean loaf
believe.
of bread.
And I believe
What are we
that
having for dinner
Michigan
tonight?
is going to have the greatest of all
Robin?
of any of the states because I'm going to bring back your auto industry.
We're
I'm not
having
gonna take
pizza.
this.
We got a pizza today because we're having movie night tonight. And we're going to have
You know, in Mexico,
popcorn.
they're building among the largest.
I got to make microwave
plants
popcorn,
for
somehow
auto
scrape it into a pan
manufacturing
and figure
anywhere
out how
in
to
the
cook
world. In
that shit up.
Mexico, near the border.
I don't have a
They
microwave.
think
I live off
that They're
grid.
going to make cars and sell them into the United States and lose all our jobs. It's not happening. And you know who owns those plants? China.
Oh, the opera at the end was one of the
China
most
owns them.
badass things I have ever
And we're
fucking
not
heard
letting
in my
it happen.
life,
We'll put
dude.
200% tariffs on 400. I don't care what would. Whoever is building your plants, we're not allowing any of those cars to come into the United
Yeah.
States. Okay. We'll
Well,
tell you that to
you know,
Mexico.
I mean, absolutely, lawfare is where it's at,
You
Jeff.
want to build those plants?
Yeah, you know, this is the
friend
game
of
you want to
mine who
fucking
builds
play?
plants, that's
Let's
all he
play.
can do. He's a
Let's
great
play.
guy.
Let's do
His
this.
strength is plants. If you say walk across the
Can you
street, he's
say
not that good at it.
discovery?
But to build a plant, he has no problem. He
Right?
builds a great auto plant.
Right?
I said,
You know a little bit
"I'd
about
like to
law.
see
There's this
one.
thing called
Take me." He goes, "Well, I have
discovery.
to go to Mexico. I said, what about the United States? No, not so much. He goes, they're actually some of the biggest
nice,
in the world
man.
being built right
Toss
now
that
in
shit up.
Mexico. I said, this happened over the last couple of years with this stupid president that we have. Stupid. He's a stupid president.
Oh, it's a beautiful opera. Beautiful
and I can
aria.
say it because, you know, once he weaponized justice,
That's the proper
you know, I
word.
would never talk
It's
about a president
aria.
like that. Once he weaponized justice against
It was
me, I said,
nice.
"Oh,
I liked
wow,
it.
that's really
And I'm not a
cool.
big
That's
opera
never
fan.
been done before.
But
I can do it, and I'm
I
knocking
like
them
good
out, but
sound,
sometimes you have crooked
if you know what I'm
judges. We have
saying.
some real crooked
I'm an audio
judges.
engineer. And when
That's
something
the only
sounds
way-
good,
the only way
I
can
like
lose
it.
is
I
crooked
gravitate
judges,
to it.
but we'll get it overturned, anything that happens. But once he weaponized, I wouldn't talk that way. In fact, before this happened, before he did this, I treated him not nicely, but I treated him with far more respect than I do right now. It's one of those things. But we can't let these companies come in and steal our wealth, steal our jobs, destroy our companies, and end up building it 10 miles across the border and think we're going to allow them to get away with it. We're not. They have to build it over here, and they have to use our people. So it's going to happen. And Michigan will benefit more than any state in the union because they stole your auto industry, and we're going to bring it back, and it's going to be at a level that it was in its height. Okay? You hear that, John James? You hear that? We're going to put John James in charge.
Oh, I love sourdough bread. Oh my God, I got some 200-year-old starter,
And the amazing thing,
and
it's not
and I
even
got to
hard
start
to
it up
do.
because it's just my
It's
life
not
has been
even
fucked
hard.
up, and
It's
I'm
so
like,
crazy.
I'm
You know, if
just
you
never
wanna
going to be able to feed this
build
thing.
something in China,
Right.
you're building
My
it
life
here and
isn't
you send it
stable
over
enough.
there. We don't
It's
want
just
it.
with all this stuff going on and
Charge you
moving
like
and streaming and all this stuff.
250%
But
tariff. We don't want
God,
it.
man, I
Then
love
you get an
sourdough bread.
invite.
Sourdough bread is
Build
the
your plant
bomb,
over
man.
here. So these companies, they go over there. Harley Davidson did it in India. They couldn't sell. They had a 200% tariff on motorbikes. I had
Does it?
in
I didn't know
the
that.
office in the White House, the Oval Office, and the head of Harley
Yeah,
Davidson.
the thing is, man,
I
is
was
like I'm kind of
disappointed in
a
that,
carnivore
actually.
diet kind of guy,
We were talking
and so
about it.
the
I
thing
was
is, I
telling
love
them
to
the
bake,
problems, and I
so
was going to help them out.
kind of a real
But
fucked
I
up
said, How are you
situation.
doing in India? No good. Why? We have a 200% tariff. In other words, if we sell a bike, they have like this massive tariff. And I said, well, if you have a 200% tariff, that means you're not going to be able to sell any. But they invited them over.
Generally
to build a
around
plant,
Christmas
and
time, I
Harley
make a
Davidson
shitload of
went,
bread and
I guess
cookies and
they're
stuff,
building
you
the
know,
plant,
holiday
they're building it or
baking, that
something.
kind of stuff.
But that's what they do. I don't blame India. I blame us for allowing it to happen. It's not going to happen anymore.
$45 million, dude,
And then we
Jeff,
had the COVID
a
fight.
month.
We had to fight
That's a
COVID.
pretty
We did a
significant
great job. We
contribution
never
by
got the
Elon
credit.
Musk
We got credit for
to the
military. We got
Trump
credit for
campaign,
everything.
or super
I defeated
PAC.
ISIS.
Oops.
We did unbelievable things. Unbelievable. We got the biggest tax cut in history, the biggest regulation cuts in history. You know, when I go to the companies, the big companies, highly sophisticated, I said, so I got you the biggest tax cuts in history, and that was good for jobs. And I got you the biggest regulation cuts in history, and that was good for jobs. If you could only have one, would you take the regulation cuts or the tax cuts? Every single person, and I must have asked the question 200 times over the years, said the regulation cuts were more important than the tax cuts. Can you believe it? You wouldn't think that. But we got you the biggest regulation cuts
Okay.
in history. Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after we win the presidency, we win. We're going to all win it
It is
together.
getting brighter.
I will have the horrible
We're getting
war
close up on
between
top of
Russia
movie
and
night.
Ukraine settled. And I will be the only
So I don't know
one
what
that
I'm
can
going to do.
make
I don't know if
this
I'm going to start
statement.
movie
I will
night a
prevent
few minutes
World War
later.
III
Or
from happening.
what do you
You're
think I should
very
do?
close
I don't know.
to World War III.
Mama's napping. She'll get her ass up because the show's not as fun without her. So
If I was president, the Afghanistan disaster, which probably caused Putin to go in, and by the way, he wouldn't have gone in with me. He would have never gone in with me. And he didn't. And by the way, he didn't. But the Afghanistan disaster, not the fact we're getting out. I was getting out. After 21 years, you get the hell out. But I would have kept Bagram. It's 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. We gave it to them so stupidly. It's one of the biggest airfields in the world. We built it many years ago for billions of dollars. We were going to keep that. We were going to man it, keep it. Think of it, 1 hour away. You know who has it now? China has it now. How stupid are we? Should have kept that. And you know the lift? The lift should have been done at Bagram, not their little local airport where they had riots all over the place, and then the bombs started going, killing 13 of our great
just
people.
a little public service announcement.
Obliterating, I heard the number this morning, 47. What?
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
47, you know that, right? Obliterated 47 great young Americans, their legs gone, their arms gone, their face just wiped out. And hundreds of people besides, hundreds of people. The worst catastrophe, the worst, most embarrassing disaster, I think, ever that happened ever in this country. And because of that, I think Putin looked at that, the incompetence, the stupidness of Milley and these guys that don't know what the hell they're doing.
And he invaded
He looked at it
Ukraine.
And he said, this is a great time to go into Ukraine. But he would have never done it with me. If I was president, the Afghan disaster would have never happened.
Remember
Ukraine
Little
would have
Rocket
never
Man?
happened. And
Remember Little Rocket Man?
October 7th, the attack on Israel would have never happened.
And my
Remember,
button's bigger than yours,
Iran was
and it
broke.
works,
Iran had
bitch.
no money. They were broke. Now they have $250 billion. But we'll get along with Iran. We'll get along with whoever we have to get along with, but it would have never happened. All of the things, and you know what wouldn't have happened?
Well, thank you,
Inflation
Robin.
wouldn't have
We really
happened because I
appreciate
had
that.
energy low.
Anytime you can
Inflation
join
was
us,
caused
please
by
do.
energy going up
Anytime you
twice.
can contribute, if
I
you're
will
able,
restore a
we
bingo
certainly
peace
appreciate that.
through
Thank you so
strength.
much.
That's what we have.
Really. we're going to have a great movie night. We're excited
We're
about
listening
it.
here to
I've been
former
preparing
President
all
Donald
day.
Trump. He's speaking at a rally.
I'm going to hang out with my peeps. And you're one of my peeps, Robin. Thank you.
We do have to step away
Thanks for hanging out
one more
with us.
commercial break this hour. Stick with us. We're back out in Grand Rapids, Michigan, next.
All right, guys, I'm gonna kill this because I got to start in a minute, right? So looks like I'm gonna stop this stream because we got movie night to deal with, and I might start a few minutes late, but just hang in there. Just go to my X page, hang out, look at the right side of your screen for your live feeds, right? To see anything that's being suggested to you, because I should pop up there if you're following me, and if not, check me out on on YouTube. At TruthSlinger X, and that's the same place I'm at on X. So anyway, I'll see you guys in about 5 to 10 minutes. Bye.